Welcome back, DP Review TV viewers. It's Chris Nichols here. I have COVID, and today we're going to be taking a very short look at the new Fujifilm X-E4. Oh, you want me to explain that last bit? Now, if you saw our latest Fujifilm GFX 100S video, you would have seen that Jordan and I were communicating over Zoom, and that's because my family and I have been isolated because we had a close contact with our family member that has tested positive. Now, unfortunately, I have contracted the virus as well, but I do want to say that I'm incredibly grateful for many things. First off, although it is no picnic, I have been very fortunate to have quite mild symptoms, mild enough that although I feel like I am able to make this video for you. I'm even more grateful though that because we were isolated, people around us, for example like Jordan and his family, seem to be fine, and I'm really grateful for that. As well, I do want to report that my wife and daughter are also virus free, and I am sequestered to the basement because, you know, prison is a very strong term in this regard, but I don't want to make light of the fact that COVID is a very serious thing. It has brought lots of stress, lots of fear, and lots of tension. Me worrying about those around me, the people I care about, and making sure they're okay. So far, everybody seems to be, and that makes me very happy. But I do feel well enough, at least, to kind of keep the show going. And so what I'm going to do is show you some features about the brand new Fujifilm X-E4 from my quarantine zone. And we're going to take a little tour. All right, this is my window to the outside world. I try to keep it closed so as not to remind myself, but the light's nice, I need it. So we're gonna talk about handling first because honestly, I think this is probably the biggest part of why you would want to get this camera. It's the styling, the look, and the size that are really important here. It's a very handsome looking camera and very clean lines, very compact. Fuji has stated right off the bat that they're trying to make this camera reminiscent of the X100 series and all of the class and sexiness that goes along with that line. I do find it to be a very handsome looking camera with very clean lines. It doesn't quite have the same fit and finish as the X100V or the same kind of feel to the top and bottom plates. I do like that we have this front dial here, just like the X100 series. It's got a push function which you can customize. That's nice. And here on the top we have very well dampened, very high quality feeling shutter speed dial and exposure comp dial, which are again very reminiscent of something from the XT series as opposed to something lighter like the new XS10. Now otherwise, the controls on this camera are quite Spartan as we've come to expect from their more entry-level cameras. We've got a drive delete button, playback button, no AF on button, but we do have AEL AFL, which could be customized to do AF on, and we're just using an autofocusing joystick here on the back to not only move our autofocus point, but also navigate our menus. On the side here, we've got a 3.5mm jack for mics, which is nice, and then we do have the USB-C port. They provide the adapter to also give you a headphone jack there, so you can monitor while you're shooting video. Lastly, we have a micro HDMI port. Now the last thing I want to point out is this camera is quite light. Now with the new version of the 27mm wide angle lens that we have on here, it's 449 grams. And the significance of that is it's basically identical to an X100 series camera with its built-in lens. So for this next segment, I bring you to the downstairs basement. It is separate, it is fairly compact, it's beach themed, but it's also very echoey, so I'll try to keep this brief. In fact, I removed the door to try to help with the echo in here. Now when it comes to the autofocus capabilities and image quality, I am going to gloss over this pretty quick because frankly, this is the exact same 26 megapixel sensor as you'll find in the X-T4. It's got the same kind of autofocusing capabilities and firmware, and those are all positives because this is a nice sensor. Now in electronic shutter mode, you can push the frame per second much higher, especially if you're willing to crop the photograph, but I'm going to stick to 8 frames per second mechanical in this camera. Not bad, but the buffer rate's not great. We have a single card slot, it's UHS 1 speed. With a fast card, I'm only getting about 20 shots and then the camera has to slow down. Now this also does use the classic NPW 126S battery. It will give you about 460 super rated shots. Okay, now I know what you're thinking, Chris, why are you showing us your TV? This is a terrible shot. But the fact is this TV has become a very big part of my life right now. I am sick of it. It is sick of me. I've been rewatching Deadwood, I've been playing The Last of Us 2, and I've been watching a lot of Alone in the Wilderness, and these are all very dark, but maybe telling subject matters to be dealing with right now. But it's also because I want to talk about displays. Yeah? Sorry, it's my COVID party. I'll cough if I want to, but you guys are safe. So the first thing I want to talk about is the 1.62 million dot back panel LCD. It's touchscreen. I love how flush it is to the body. That's a nice design. It is just a vertically tilting screen, but I do like that you can do selfie style there. But really, one of the main reasons to get this camera is for the offset EVF. And that just means that the EVF is here on the corner of the camera as opposed to the middle and the top, like more of an SLR style. Now I like this personally because it means it keeps my nose off the camera. I can also open my other eye if I want that for assisting in my shots. But unfortunately, this EVF isn't really anything to write home about. 2.36 million dots, I get that, it's a low-cost camera, but the eye relief is also quite poor. Now, I can manage it, but in a very unsanitary way, given the situation, I gotta ram my eye right into that small viewfinder to be able to see my entire composition. If I have to pull my eye away or if I wear eyeglasses, I don't feel like I'd be able to see everything very easily at all. And so this brings us to the couch, which is where I end every single day because I sleep here. This is also where I'm going to end the video. And I know this is leaving you a lot of questions, not only about the camera, but if I've been wearing pants this entire time. And as soon as I feel better and we can get back outside, I will absolutely take this camera and give it a proper review. But for now, I think I want to leave you with one thing here. Is this camera worth getting? I mean, you got to consider that a Fujifilm X-S10 is only $100 more US for the body, and it's a very capable camera. I like the SLR style control structure, and I do like having IBIS. I think the key is really to look at this camera the way Fuji intends it, kind of like an X100V style camera, but with interchangeable lenses, because in that regard, you can get it with this 27mm 2.8 lens for a very good price. They give you a discount. Now, if you already have Fuji lenses that you want to throw on an XS10, I think that is a better way to spend your money. But if you absolutely want small, simple, and stylish, this could be a good choice for you. Thanks so much for joining us, guys, and for letting me make this video, because really, being isolated is the hardest part, and I really appreciate still being able to talk to you guys and get this video out there. Don't forget that Valentine's Day is coming up soon. We're getting close to our subscriber limit. Get us to 300,000 for Jordan's special challenge. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you soon with a full review of the X-E4.